Before we get started, let me give a quick introduction about myself. My name is Hari Krishnan Nair. I am the Admissions Director for Analytics Programs at Great Lakes Institute of Management. I have been involved in analytics education now for over 5 years, and through Great Lakes and Great Learning. And in this course, we have trained several thousands of professionals in analytics and data science who've gone on to have fantastic careers. So by doing this, I've also been able to understand the market. What do companies look for? What are the big opportunities that are there for professionals, and more importantly, what are the things that you need to learn? A quick word about Great Learning as well. Great Learning is an educational technology company where we do executive education programs in analytics from Great Lakes. So far, we've delivered over 1.5 million learning hours in analytics. So that, as you can see, that is a humongous number. The analytics faculty that are teaching in our programs are consistently ranked among top 10 in India. We also have the distinction and the honor of being the creators of India's number one ranked analytics program. As things stand today, there are 4 data science programs that have been co-created between Great Learning and Great Lakes, which train about 5,000 professionals annually. And we do this through online programs as well as through blended programs across our 6 learning centers in Bangalore, Gurgaon, Chennai, Pune, Bombay, and Hyderabad. All right, so with that quick note, let's get into the topic at hand, which is about analytics. And the underlying principle and the underlying trigger behind analytics is data. And what we have seen in the last 10 to 12 years is nothing short of a data revolution. What has happened is that across the globe, across industries, businesses, and even as consumers, the amount of data that we are consuming as well as the amount of data that we are generating has been growing at an unprecedented exponential pace, right? So you can look at that chart. It is a very apt representation, right? So it just shows you how the data revolution has been jumping many magnitudes every 4 years or so, right? And in fact, you can see that the biggest jump is coming from 2015 to 2020, wherein it's going to be about 5x, a little over 5x actually, right? So that kind of shows you that there is an absolute data explosion that's happening all around us. And this is the underlying layer that is driving analytics, right? And there are a few trends that have made this happen. The first trend has been that for businesses themselves, their perspective on data has changed. So initially, earlier, especially in the mid to late 90s, data was often seen as a cost or as a liability, but today data is seen as an asset, right? Just think about the very companies or the very products that you as a young professional use ever so frequently, whether it is a WhatsApp or whether it is a Facebook or a Twitter or a LinkedIn, if you're talking about social media, or any of the e-commerce companies, whether Amazon or Flipkart, or an Uber or an Ola, right? Any of these companies that you're using, data is a key integral layer for them, right? What you are doing on that product helps them make better decisions in terms of what that business should offer you, right? And this is the whole driving principle behind data, behind the transition from data as a cost to data as an asset. In today's time and age, every business makes decisions on the basis of data, right? Data is driving decisions. And again, we have experienced this as customers. So a very easy example to cite is, again, going back to, let's say, online shopping, right? So irrespective of whether you shop on Flipkart or Amazon, right, you would see that anytime you add something to the cart or anytime you're browsing a product, right, the platform will also start recommending you in terms of, maybe you would be interested in these as well, right? So in analytics term, that is known as a recommendation engine, but that recommendation engine is completely built on data, right? It is built on you as a consumer and what is your consumer behavior, which again is gauged by the amount of data that they're able to capture about you. What this also has meant in terms of this data explosion is that the need for technology infrastructure and analytical capabilities, not just as businesses, but also as professionals, has increased many folds, right? So and that is a big opportunity, that is a huge opportunity for professionals like you who are looking to build their careers in analytics. If I talk about analytics industry in India, we are currently seeing that the industry is growing at about 24% annually, and that is fantastic. That is a fantastic industry to be in, because what happens is that when you are a part of an industry that is growing at such rapid pace, your own professional growth will also be much faster, right? And that is what analytics professionals working in India today are witnessing. And just compare this with something that is as conventional as the IT industry. So the IT industry, in its best estimate, is right now growing at somewhere close to 5% or a little less than 5% annually, right? So you can imagine that analytics as an industry is actually growing at 5x of what the IT industry is growing, and that should give you a sense of the amount of opportunity and the amount of scope and future that exists for professionals who want to enter this industry. NASSCOM has cited that Indian companies are going to need close to 2 lakh analytics and big data professionals by the end of 2018. And end of 2018, by the way, is only 1 year away, right? So that is the kind of demand for talent that is there in the industry right now. And what we have seen over and over again, all through the companies that recruit from us as well, and the companies that we engage with as well, is that if you are a well-trained talent, this is a fantastic place and time to be in, because opportunities are aplenty, right? What is important is that you have to be well trained, and you should be able to demonstrate your competence in analytics, which is what companies are looking for. If as long as you can clear that hoop, then you will never be restrained by the number of opportunities. The graph that you see here is actually, the posting of a job title called data scientist, and you can see in terms of how that posting has been increasing, and it's an all-time high right now. So that is again another indication of the number of jobs that exist in this field. So why are people, looking to build their careers in analytics right now? The first fact is that because analytics industry is growing at such a rapid pace, growth for professionals is also fastest in the industry. Um, we Across our candidates, what we see is that if we compare professionals working in the IT sector to professionals working in the analytics sector, you clearly, if you compare apples to apples at the same work experience level and so on, you clearly see a difference of about 30 to 35% is the average difference. Many of our professionals, we've even seen them get much bigger hikes. Again, it all depends upon the quality that you have. uh, According to a salary report in analytics that was released recently, the average analytics salary in India for 2017 is about 11.7 lakhs across all experience levels and experience level and skill sets. And that itself, again, as an indication that the average salary is that across all professionals. It shows that there is a lot of people are making a lot of money here. Even in the entry level bracket, that is the 0 to 3 year experience bracket, analytics salaries are seeing the biggest jump year on year, with about a 60% jump in 2017, with an average of 6.5 lakhs. Again, if you contrast that with an industry like IT or banking or telecom, any of the conventional regular industries, you will see that the quantum of jump is a lot more in analytics. So, as companies are beginning to depend more and more on data to make decisions, and data is becoming more of a prized asset for every organization, they also need professionals who can work on this data, professionals who can, make inferences, professionals who can help business leaders take decisions, right? And that is where data analysis comes in as a skill set. So, according to Gartner, which is a leading research firm globally, it is estimated that every knowledge professional has to be a data scientist. And what that means is that if you're working in any of the knowledge industries, and knowledge industries essentially the skill based industries such as technology or telecom or banking or consulting, and so on and so forth, you have to be a data scientist because you have to increasingly work on data, right? So data analysis is no longer a luxury, but increasingly it is becoming a critical skill set that one needs to have. If you don't have that skill set, if you don't have the skill set of analytics and data science, then chances are that you are going to be either sidelined or you're putting your future career at risk. Even for IT professionals, because IT is going through a transition right now, and there's a lot of churn that's happening. Even for IT professionals, analytics has huge opportunities, and that is one prime reason why we see so many IT professionals come to our programs and actually make careers post the program as well. Uh, but having said that, analytics as an opportunity is not restricted to IT, right? So that is not the sense you should get. If analytics is applied in BFSI, in telecom, manufacturing, energy, automobiles, consulting, and again that gets reflected in our own candidate mix. Who do our programs? They are again diverse from various industries. So the fact is that as long as you learn analytics and data science, and as long as you are able to convey what you've learned and demonstrate your skill sets and so on, chances are that you are not going to be constrained by the industry, because analytics as a function is getting applied across industries. All right. So with that quick introduction about the analytics industry, its growth, what is the potential, what is the future, let me also take some time to explain the program to you. So this program, which is PGP DSC, Postgraduate Program in Data Science and Engineering, is a program that is exclusively designed for early career professionals. And when we say early career professionals, we are referring to professionals who have less than 4 years of work experience. The reason being that the entire curriculum and pedagogy and course structure and teaching that has been designed in the program has been designed keeping in mind what would these professionals need to know for them to get into or to start their career in analytics. So even if you may be working in another industry, but let's say if you want to transition to a business analyst role, or a data scientist role, or a junior data scientist role, right? What are those skill sets that companies are going to look for someone who is young in their career and wants to start in analytics? So that is what the program is completely focused on, and that is why it is a very unique proposition for, especially for young professionals who are looking to venture into this area. The program is taught by faculty from Great Lakes and the industry faculty. Analytics faculty from Great Lakes are ranked within the top 10 in the country. They're counted amongst the best analytics academicians in India. And plus, we are also being assisted by industry professionals from leading analytics companies who are going to come and teach in the program. The program has dual certification from Great Lakes as well as from Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago, which means what you learn is not just recognized and relevant in India, but also globally. The format is such that you don't have to quit your current job to do the program. Though it's a very intensive 6-month program, you'll have to do a lot of learning and there'll be a lot of hands-on application. But having said that, classes are delivered every alternate weekend in the classroom format. So every alternate weekend, you would be coming to one of our learning centers, either in Gurgaon or in Bangalore, depending upon where you are, for in-person classroom sessions, which will be delivered by Great Lakes faculty as well as industry faculty. And apart from that, there'll also be some online content that you'll be consuming, right? So it's a mix of both classroom and online, and that is what gives you the flexibility to learn analytics from the best of faculty, best of industry, without having to quit your job. So what are you going to learn in the program? The program curriculum is broadly divided into three buckets. First is analytics foundation, so that's where you begin off with, in terms of learning concepts of analytics, starting with basic statistics, and also learning basic concepts of the business modules where analytics gets applied, such as marketing case studies, operation case studies, supply chain case studies, and financial analytics. Then you will progress into a more detailed study of tools and techniques. This is where faculty and industry would be teaching you the various analytical techniques that are used by leading companies. Again, completely hands-on, completely data set and case study driven, and not just academic in nature. This is also where you will be trained on a bunch of tools that are relevant, especially for professionals like you, such as R, SAS, Python, MySQL, and Tableau. And then, of course, the other key part is the industry exposure that you get. So, industry exposure happens through hands on learning, through various projects that are done. So, Great Lakes and industry have collaborated to create a bunch of projects that you'll be doing in the program, and all of these projects are very close replicas of what happens in the industry. They've been collaborated in conjunction with industry professionals. The other aspect where you get industry exposure is, of course, you get to learn from industry professionals. So there are a lot of analytics professionals who will be coming and teaching in the program. And when you learn and interact from them, what you're learning is how the industry is using these techniques or how the industry is using a certain analytics problem, and you yourself get to solve that problem. So that is what kind of completes your learning. This is a snapshot of the curriculum topics. You can, of course, see this on our program brochure or our program website as well. And you can see that while it begins with basic analytics-driven problem solving and then business modules and various functions, then it goes into analytics dashboards, which I think is a very very important part because a lot of early career professionals, that's where they start their careers in terms of dashboarding. Then you go into the realms of structured and unstructured data and data management. How do you do data management? How do you do data querying? How do you do data modeling, data visualization? And then your analytical techniques, beginning from basic statistical techniques to time series, predictive modeling techniques, regressions, classification, association, and finally industry modules that allow you to apply all these techniques to industry case studies. The program faculty consists of really some stellar faculty from Great Lakes who would be delivering this program. Dr. Mudit is the program director for the PGP DSE program. He's the one who is in charge of the learning experience and has crafted the curriculum in conjunction with his industry. Dr. Mudit was, until very recently, he was the vice president of analytics at American Express. So again, that will give you an idea of how industry oriented this program is, how relevant and and application oriented your learning is going to be. Apart from that, we have Dr. Sridhar, Dr. Narayana, and Dr. Srabashi Basu, all of them very, very experienced faculties in analytics and data science. And again, who've done their PhDs or their studies in analytics from the best of universities globally. As you can see, there are a bunch of really good universities, whether it's New York State University or Penn State University or ISI or Marie Curie University in Paris. So the faculty have been handpicked so that what you get to learn is from the very best, and your learning again should not be limited only to academic faculty but also to industry guests, and that's where we have created a network of industry professionals who will also be teaching in the program. So by learning in this program or going through this curriculum and this learning experience, the roles that you should be targeting post the program, the roles that you will be prepared for are roles such as data engineer, data analyst, data scientist, business analyst, technology analyst, pricing analyst, and consultants or associate consultants and so on. And you can do a quick check for yourself. Look at any organization that is hiring in analytics or for analytics or data science roles, and you'll see that most of the roles fall into these buckets. And in fact, a good exercise that you should do is you should actually go through the job descriptions, and you should see how the curriculum matches with the job description, because the way the curriculum has been created is that we've actually done an in-depth thorough analysis of the jobs that are there in the market for professionals less than 4 years of experience, and what are the skill sets that they're looking for. And that's how we went back to the industry to create the curriculum. So I'm sure that if you kind of take a look at this curriculum and then take a look at the job descriptions being posted by these companies, you will see that there is a great degree of overlap. The program also offers you flexibility. So one aspect of flexibility I've already told you is that it's a mix of weekend and online, so you don't have to quit your job to do the program. Apart from that, all classroom sessions get recorded, and you have access to all classroom recordings. So how that also helps you is that even after the program, you will be able to go through the classroom recordings and learn better. If there are queries, you can always write in to our learning support team, and they'll address your queries. Evaluations are all completely hands-on and assignment based, so that what you learn is very very hands-on and practical. We also keep doing regular webinars for Q&A. So even if you've not been able to clear your doubts in classroom, there'll always be some catch-up webinar that happens. And you're more than free to come and meet the faculty. If you have doubts to be clarified, or you can reach out to our learning support team, and they will put you in touch with the faculty. We also give provisions to candidates to be able to re-attend a given session or a course. So let's say, because of some reason, if you were unable to attend a given class, uh, that's not a problem. You can always revisit and re-attend that topic the next time it's offered. And that is, we do that so that you can complete your learning with the best of experience. We also do a bunch of activities when it comes to career support. The first set of activities that we do is, apart from, of course, making you better analytics professionals by teaching you the relevant things, what we also do is we conduct resume building workshops. These are again conducted by senior industry professionals who have several years of experience in hiring for analytics roles. So they come and guide you in terms of what makes for a good analytics CV, and how should you be taking care of the very basic things, and also give you advice depending upon your own personal background and your personal interests as far as it when it comes to this field. We also do workshops on interview preparation. So these are essentially, help you with mock interviews where you can actually go through a series of analytics questions. And again, our industry guests will guide you in terms of what is the best way to pitch your profile or to present your candidature or answer these questions that come your way. We also have a great learning job board wherein companies keep reaching out to us with opportunities. And these are opportunities that we share with all our candidates and alumni. So you'll again have access to these opportunities, wherein you can see which are the ones that are relevant for you and you can apply to them. And once you do that, then the company takes the process forward with you. So that is again something that has benefited thousands of our alumni and candidates, because we've been able to share a lot of opportunities with very relevant set of companies, and a lot of our alumni have actually transitioned using those opportunities. Talking about alumni and Great Lakes Analytics alumni, we've so far had over 5,000 plus professionals who've gone through our various programs in analytics and data science. And what we've seen is that close to two-thirds of those alumni have transitioned within 12 months of completion of the program. And there have been transitions from IT to analytics. There have been transitions from non-tech roles such as business development or finance or ops to analytics teams. And if you look at the kind of companies that have hired our alumni, this is amongst the best of the companies that are there in the country, starting from a Google or a Microsoft to Amazon to Fractal, Mu Sigma to Accenture, Cognizant, IBM. Right. So essentially, you can see that this list, though is a representative list, it also gives you a clear idea that the opportunity for analytics and companies are looking to hire across the board, and that's not just limited. It's not a small opportunity for you to worry about. Our senior professionals also today, currently act as analytics leadership in leading companies, and that definitely helps. Alumni, who joined the program just as candidates like you, um, have actually been winning several tournaments and competitions in analytics and data science, which further goes to reaffirm our belief that high quality education does make a difference. On the last note, I'd like to mention that I think it's a good decision that you've taken in terms of your interest in learning analytics. So I think that is the right career decision for all of you, and you should focus more in terms of how you can further your learning and what is the best way for you to learn, and what is the kind of career path you can chart, right? And in the process, if we at Great Lakes and Great Learning can be of any help to you, we'd be more than happy to do that. I hope to see some of you in our future batches across programs. Thank you once again for your time on a weekday afternoon. Truly appreciate that. Have a great day.